Luminary Log, February 3rd, 2025, 1:14 p.m. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Luminary Log, or the Lumi Log, or something. I immediately always have a billion ideas and jokes and things I want to say when I get onto anything. So first of all, I thought about calling this like the Lumi Log or something, but there is a VTuber named Lumi already. I think she's in Phase Connect or something. I don't really know much about her other than like the name or whatever. So I don't want to like, I don't know. I've been vague Luminary since like November 2015. Or something like that. So, I mean, I was here first, but anyway, yeah. So why the Luminary Log? Why not another podcast? What's going on? I don't know. I don't want to kind of tarnish the legacy of the podcast. The podcast had a specific reason for its existence, and that reason is no longer necessary because it was like, oh, I want to talk about the stuff that I'm doing. Now I'm just doing it on stream, and I'm streaming stuff and doing stuff, right? And so the Luminary Log is here as kind of a monthly chronicle / archive of what's going on in the world of Big Luminary. You know, whatever the fuck. So here I am holding the microphone, just yapping straight to your brain. So in the Luminary Log, you can expect the month's upcoming plans if there's anything I want to do. And also a recap of our stats so we can kind of archive and chronicle our growth and everything. And perhaps it's extremely narcissistic or whatever the fuck you want to call it, egotistical, self-centered, whatever you want to call it, to be like, yeah, so here's me. But I mean, folks, just look at the chart. You know, I've got 9 followers on Instagram. Come on, get real, you know? So I wanted to archive this month to month or whatever, and I thought about many different ways. I thought about, I could post about it on Twitter, I could post about it in Discord, but I wanted it to be publicly available and also easy to track and like get back to. So I figured I'd just make it a video. It could be yet another thing. This one might be like somewhat longer, it might be kind of short, I don't know, but like the idea from the get-go is they're not going to be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours long like some of the podcasts would be. They'll be at worst like half an hour long. Okay. So that's why this is inherently different from the podcast. So yeah. So while we're here, as you can see down at the stats here, these are the 6 platforms that I'm the most kind of involved with, because I'm on other platforms that I bring up all the time, but I'm not actively doing anything on them right now, like Snapchat and DLive and Trovo. I'm technically on those, but I'm not really doing anything with them, and for now I don't see myself doing anything with them. So yeah, don't worry about those. If you use those platforms and you think I'm cool, feel free to follow me, but it's not really whatever. But yeah, as we can see alphabetically here, Instagram 9 followers, Kick 26 followers, TikTok 13 followers, Twitch 19 followers, X 67 followers, YouTube 129 subscribers. I'd like to make it publicly clear, YouTube is my home base, kind of. That's like my most important platform. And then X is really important because that's where I yap and do other such things. So those are my 2 favorite things. All right. Everything else is just kind of like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I throw some stuff on. I guess I simul stream on Twitch and Kick, and I throw my shorts on TikTok and Instagram, but YouTube and X are where it's at. That's where I'm always going to put the best content if I can. All right. So if you're looking for me, those are the best places to look. Now, I wanted to talk about my future plans for the year as they existed in January, but I already did like a podcast, and I didn't want to be like, here's another podcast, or here's another thing, or whatever. So, I made this as like a photo post on Twitter. It's X at some point or whatever. But I thought I'd go through it here. You're just going to have to take my word for it. So last month, I tried to kind of plot out and say, what are the new releases that I really want to play on day one? And therefore, what games do I have to play before they come out? And just as an overarching thing to kind of get this out of the way, ideally, in my brain, right, I want to have my channel exist as like a content library almost. I'm kind of moving away from the idea of like these are live Let's Plays, because it's either one or the other. It's either like a live show that people tune into and it's a guy just yapping and whatever. It's a show, right? As opposed to, oh, it's a Let's Play that's kind of edited down or like more focused, right? Which it can't be if it's live. So I'm just a guy, I play video games, and that's cool. And if you think I'm cool, feel free to come along. That's the whole strategy. So, with new games that come out, especially in most of these are established franchises that I'm already a fan of, and I've already played like all the back games. So it also gives me a perfect excuse to replay the games and just do it on stream. So, a lot of these games have older games that I want to play either for the first time or just to revisit them on the channel. So, looking at the future as it stands right now, and maybe annually we'll do the next year thing, and then otherwise we'll do things month by month like we will later on in this one. This year we've got Yakuza Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, or whatever the fuck the full name is. I just call it Pirate Yakuza. That's coming out February 20th. So I want to play Yakuza 8 and another Yakuza game. A spinoff on that's located on one platform right now. We'll get there maybe before that happens. And then next up, March 20th, Wander Stop by the guy that made Stanley Parable and Beginner's Guide. Those are both great, and Beginner's Guide shows that he can do like stuff with some emotional weight to it. So I think I might replay those on stream. I'm not too sure. I recently replayed Stanley Parable when Ultra Deluxe came out, which I think was like 2 years ago, maybe 1 year ago. I don't know. So I don't know how funny or interesting it would be to watch me play those games or whatever, but at least I don't know. Maybe I don't even have to play those for Wander Stop, but I really want to play Wander Stop. That's March 20th. Then a more kind of like thing I'm on the fence about, and this is fun because I'm actually holding the microphone up to me. I'm not using my stand. I pulled it out of the stand so I can go yada, yada, yada. April 24th, we see Clear Obscure Expedition 33. I'm not too sure I'll play this one. I'm curious about it, though. So we'll just kind of, I don't know. That's a maybe right now. But almost everything else is confirmed. So May 15th, we've got Doom the Dark Ages, which means I've got like 6 or 7 old Doom games to play through. I've never played Doom 64 or 3 like fully through. I've played them a little bit before, but I've played Classic Doom. I've played 2016. I've played Eternal, right? So I know what I'm doing there. Those could be a fun nightmare, though. I've never played through TNT or Plutonia, so those could be fun, right? So yeah. Next up in October, ideally, and then we'll get to like the stuff that's vaguely this year or whatever. This is kind of like the January and February episode, I guess, at the same time. October, I would love to do a ton of Castlevania, because to this day, I've only played Symphony of the Night and the Game Boy Advance games in the Advance collection for Castlevania, but I'd really love to like just play a fuckload of Castlevania in October, but that's probably going to be set off to the side because some of the things we've got coming up here in the future are probably all going to crowd around there. So just nebulously in 2025, we've got Elden Ring Night Rain, which is, I think it's maybe going to get like a spring release, maybe if they've got the network test coming up that we'll talk about in a minute. But that's interesting. I want to play all the Souls games for that, but I don't know. A lot of these things are like, well, that's a lot of time, and the scheduling is going to be fucked up. And I don't know. This is a total scattershot, and there won't be timestamps because we don't do timestamps anymore, right? But the thing I'm struggling with is a lot of these games have nebulous release dates, and so ideally, I would love to say, oh, we're building up to Elden Ring Night Rain, so we're going to play all the Souls games back to back, which A, is like a horrible idea to put in my brain, but B, if like one game is a week out from the other, I'm not going to have a week to do that. So I don't want to like play all the Souls games now and then like 3 months later is when Night Rain comes out. But I really can't help it if that's just how the cookie crumbles. So anyway, Elden Ring Night Rain's coming out this year. This year is also Gears of War E-Day. I'm a huge Gears of War fan. That Gears of War is my go-to PvP like versus video game series. That's mine. Everybody has to know what theirs is. Gears of War is mine. I love Gears of War. The single play, the campaigns and the horde and everything. It's it's all so much fun. I looking forward to replaying those. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of Gears. But also this year, what a lot of people know about is Grand Theft Auto 6. Personally, I've only ever played through GTA 5. I've done it 2 times, but And I've obviously played Red Dead Redemption 1 and on the channel, and I've played Red Dead Redemption 2 back when it came out. But yeah, so that one's going to be a doozy, because I feel like at the bare minimum I should at least play the 3D trilogy and 4, but it's like, also, why shouldn't I just play 1 and 2 and then Liberty City stories and Vice City stories, so maybe even find a way to play Chinatown Wars. Fuck it, right? So I don't know, but those are the two. Gears of War and GTA I'm kind of concerned about, because I feel like they'll come out in September and October, and I feel like I need at least a hardcore month each to play those games. I don't know. Another game that's kind of questionably, maybe we'll do, maybe we won't, is Ninja Gaiden 4. I've never played Ninja Gaiden. Back in my Devil May Cry days in 2019, I was close to playing Ninja Gaiden, but then I was mad because you can play Ninja Gaiden Black through backward compatibility on Xbox, but then 2 and 3 were in a weird state, and it's the Sigma version actually censors it with purple blood and all this other shit, and I don't know. And then they put out the trilogy remaster last year, and now they've remade 2. They made Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, so I don't know. I'm confused. I'd like to. I know they're really hard as fuck, but I have a decent amount of character action experience at this point, and maybe I should just start Inazuma dropping motherfuckers, right? But that one's questionable. We may or may not do Ninja Gaiden 4, but there leaves 4 games on the future list that are I have to play these when they come out, that at this point all do not have any kind of release date whatsoever, and that is Death Stranding 2. I'm a huge Metal Gear guy. I gotta play Death Stranding 2. I played Death Stranding 1 when it came out. I'm not gonna feel bad about playing Death Stranding 2 on a base PS5 either. If they only put it out on PS5 at release, that's fine. I don't care to buy a PS5 Pro. But Death Stranding 2, we gotta replay Death Stranding 1 for the channel. Deltarune, I played the first chapter when it came out. Still haven't played the second chapter, because I'm if they're releasing them by chapter, I just want to play the whole fucking game. So yeah, I've not met Spamton and all the other bullshit, right? Which was a point of contention with some of my friends back when Chapter 2 came out. But yeah, Deltarune will be cool. We got to replay Undertale. I played it way back, 2 weeks or a month after Undertale came out. It was pretty fun, fresh experience, before the internet completely fucking blew that game open in so many ways, right? But Undertale's still a good game. No matter what kind of cringe may have followed it, Undertale's still a fantastic game. We've also got 𝑰𝑵𝑗 Dream Barbecue, 𝑰𝑵𝑗, however you want to fucking pronounce it, right? The animations that Joel Guerra, I believe, Joel G, whatever his name is, makes on YouTube. He's making a game called Dream Barbecue. That'll be really cool. 𝑰𝑵𝑗's really cool. I think she's awesome, so that'll be cool. And last but certainly not least is MGS Delta Snake Eater, which is the MGS3 remake that they're slowly working on. I would love to do a kind of, I've got my notes here. I'd love to do a playthrough through all of Metal Gear, all the way to playing MGS2 and then going into Delta and then going into Portable Ops and MGS4 and everything after, all the way in through to Rising and MGS5, all the way into Survive, because fun fact, if you want to find something to cancel me over, I liked Metal Gear Survive. That's right. It's not a Metal Gear game. You just got to take it for what it is. And I liked what it was. So it sucks that other people just shout on it as badly as they did, but I liked it. So anyway, to recap, because it's been a lot of yapping in this particular section, the plans for this year: February 20th, Pirate Yakuza; March 20th, Wander Stop; April 24th, maybe Clear Obscure Expedition 33; May 15th, Doom the Dark Ages; maybe in October, Castlevania. And then at some point this year, we've got Elden Ring Night Rain, Gears of War E-Day, Grand Theft Auto 6, maybe Ninja Gaiden 4, and then things in the future that we have no release date for whatsoever yet: Death Stranding 2, Deltarune, 𝑰𝑵𝑗 Dream Barbecue, and Metal Gear Solid Delta. So that's what would have been in the January episode of the Luminary Log if we did it. But here in February, I'm happy to announce, now we can go back to the list here. I'll be going on vacation. It's going to be pretty fucking awesome. As I kind of look to leave my existing retail job of 4 years, I'm taking vacation for 3 weeks, starting February 8th I think. So I'm going to be on vacation almost the whole month. Starting February 8th all the way through to March 2nd. So it's going to be pretty fucking crazy, suffice to say. I'll have 3 entire weeks, just over 3 weeks, to just do anything and everything I so desire. And I hope to get a lot of streaming done. I hope to get a lot of things in general done. I want to work on some more infrastructural shit behind the scenes, try to find a good balance of things because, once again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I love working on the stream and making everything just a little bit nicer and a little shinier and a little glossier or whatever. But what's most important to me is actually putting content out. And no matter how good my stream itself actually is, if nobody's around to watch it, no one's around to appreciate it. So I got to keep doing stuff that will bring people in to then appreciate the work that I've done. Even if I have more fun actually working on the channel than actually working on the channel. You know what I mean? Yeah. So in this vacation and even beforehand, because we've still got this week before I go on vacation and I've got a normal work schedule. So I've got my normal amounts of free time. This is my first day to have any time to myself since in 6 days, because I spent Wednesday hanging out with people online, Thursday hanging out with people on the internet, Friday working, hanging out, and getting 1 hour of sleep Thursday night, Saturday watching the Men's Royal Rumble, and Sunday working and being all super worn out and blown out. So now it's Monday and now I'm cool. So February plans. Probably as soon as this week, actually, we'll be finishing Yakuza 8 Infinite Wealth, and that's very cool. After Yakuza Infinite Wealth, between it and Pirate Yakuza, there's one more Yakuza game I want to play, and I think I will just finally say it here, because I think I've said it a billion times, but I'll officially make it clear. Yakuza Dead Souls. Ooh, it's a spin-off that came out, I think, right around the time that 4 or 5 did, and it's PS3 exclusive, but I've got a PS3 and I've bought it already digitally, so it's ready to rock. And it's like Yakuza mixed with Dead Rising. I don't know. It's not a real Yakuza game, quote unquote, so I don't think it'll be that long, so we can maybe bust out in a handful of streams, and then we can find something to kill time with before Pirate Yakuza comes out. Or maybe I'll just lock in really hard and finish working on stream stuff, outside of just the other things. But also I'm going to finish Monster Hunter World Iceborne with my friend, because I've been about 15 hours of gameplay away from finishing it for 3 or 4 years now. So I've beaten the storyline, quote unquote, of Iceborne, but I've never gone all the way to fighting Fatalis. So I'm just a little ways away from that right now. And that's cool. Finally get that done. It's been on the to-do list for forever. Not that I'm going to play Wilds at release. I might play it a little bit. I probably won't play it on stream, though, because I want to play it with my Monster Hunter friend, and he doesn't want to be on stream, which is totally fine. But my experience comes before the content on the stream. So I want to play it with my buddy. It's not going to be on the stream. Even if I do play it, I don't know. I might be so busy with other shit. Who knows? I'll continue to watch Kodocha, which I'm now 26 episodes into, I think. And it's just a banger. Kodomo... God, what the fuck what is it called here? Kodomo no Omocha. I'm 25 episodes in, maybe 26, and I just haven't updated yet. But it's a fantastic show. The dub is amazing. We got Laura Bailey and all that fun stuff. It's an amazing show. It's a shoujo rom-com. It's great. I love it so much. Every episode I watch is just such a joy to experience. So I'm going to keep watching Kodocha. Then the Elden Ring Night Rain network test. I did get my email back, and I have been selected to participate in it. I'm very excited to do that. Right now, there's no news on when. I got the email 3 or 4 days ago, and they said, on February 11th, we'll give you a follow-up email. And, of course, if they say, hey, by the way, you can't stream it, you can't record it or whatever, then I'm not going to. But I remember that... the most recent example we could go off is the Elden Ring test, and I believe Ouroboros was able to put his footage of that up, so I probably can do stuff with it, so that's cool. So that'll be at some point in February, presumably before Pirate Yakuza, and then, of course, Pirate Yakuza is on February 20th. That's a new spin-off Yakuza game, and once I finish that, I'll officially have been caught up with Yakuza. And what's really cool is that it was originally going to come out a week later at the same day as Wilds on the 28th, but they literally said, oh, actually, we're going so well on schedule, we can actually push it up a week, which is funny and a super flex. So maybe even on that week of vacation, I can get it done before I even go back to work. And then the whole floodgates are open. And the spoiler is, I think there's still more Yakuza content I want to do even after I finish Pirate Yakuza. And I can feel people just groaning. They're like, oh, God. I started the Yakuza thing in November 2023, maybe 2022. No, it would have been 2022. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh God. But there's things undone that I want to get done. So we'll get there when we get there. And then once I finish that, just as a reminder to everybody, the Yakuza scheme, got to finish Yakuza A, which we're getting very close to. There's Yakuza Dead Souls coming up, and then Pirate Yakuza on February 20th. Once we finish that, there's one more big project of Yakuza stuff I want to do, and then when we get through that officially, that's when we will stop playing Yakuza and hopefully just not worry about it for quite some time. And I got to figure out what the fuck I want to do. You know, maybe we'll finally get into Gran Turismo. I can't just play nothing but Gran Turismo. I got to do other stuff, especially with those other games coming out. You know, it might be the right time to play Stanley Parable and, The Beginner's Guide in preparation for Wanderstop. You know, maybe start going through the Doom games and just go down the list of releases to kind of like get those ready for when we do other stuff. Because, again, I want to... this is maybe just me, but I care about people being experienced and knowledgeable in a game when it's like the latest game in a series. So I want to be able to have all my footage of, here's me playing Doom, so people know that, like, hey, this isn't some new guy. He actually did go play all the Doom games, right? So that's important to me. So that's why I want to do that stuff. I think that'll conclude this Luminary Log today. So I'm thinking of even like printing these out and then like fucking saving them in a binder. That might be funny. I don't know. It's the first one. Who knows how long this will even go? Maybe even I'll maybe I will even unlist these after each month so you can only see the most recent log. I don't know. Lots of things to figure out. I even need to figure out how I'm going to put the video together. What's it going to look like? You know, it's stupid. It's really stupid, but that's where we're at. And those numbers sure are fucking pitiful, aren't they? But they're the real numbers. And, hopefully as we go along here, eventually those numbers will be a little bit nicer. And eventually we can graduate the follower count to subscriber count on Twitch and members, and that'll be cooler. Well, I don't know. I just said a lot of things to think about. So I don't know, but that will conclude this Luminary Log. Oh, I guess this doesn't really need to be mentioned, but I'll be making and putting up the individual videos for the songs from the 𝒀𝑶𝑼𝑹 EP pretty soon. If not today, tomorrow, or somewhat sooner. I don't know what I want to do with the rest of today yet. So yeah, that's what I know. So thank you. This has been the Luminary Log, the first ever Luminary Log. How cool. Ooh, yeah. And hopefully I'll get this up pretty quickly. All right. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next month.